tried to kill myself so that people can be happy, but it seems that it's not happening. So now I'm going to hurt them. I'm going to destroy them. I hated other people. A lot of things happen. I stole in churches because people talk about God, but I would hear people tell me about God who are in a suit. People are perfect. People believe that we can cure HIV and AIDS. This is not something I'm giving out because it's information I gathered. 5 guys broke into a house, 2012, and I was raped on gunpoint because this man believed that if he rapes me, he was going to cure the virus in his body. But unfortunately, he did not cure it. He infected me with it. In total, I attempted 11 suicides attempts. That's how much I hated myself. Not that I wanted to change this color. You understand? It was hell for me. In the classroom, like, where is she gonna sit? Where is she gonna sit? Don't say, hey, I don't want to hear, hey, not here. Sorry.
No, that's crazy.
And that time you don't even understand the language yet. So it's really and I can't see. Then they told my mom that, no, take your child out of the school and take her to where she belongs. And mom is like, where does she belong? Then they gave her like a little pamphlet, and then she went to Pretoria. There's a school called Philadelphia or Prince of. So there, the school basically is a school where they don't just, because what she thought is that it's a school for kids with albinism. No, it's a school where all kinds of disabilities are there in one bulk.
Yeah.
Whether you can walk, whether everybody's just
everything's
there.
together.
You understand? So my mom went there and said, no, I don't want to bring her here because I think she'll be traumatized, and I don't want her to, whatever decision she made, she just said, I checked it and I didn't want to take her there. So I said she would stay here and figure it out, Okay. Then same story again. I know I cannot see the blackboard. And the painful thing is that people can say sit in front. It's not good enough.
Yeah, it's too far still. Yeah.
It's not. I need to go to the board and basically stand in front of it. And that would have kids to say, hey, we can't see. What are you doing there? You understand? Hey, blind girl, what? That also makes you now say, I don't know. Your friend says next to you, not even a friend, but the person sitting next to you will be like, you can copy. I cannot copy like this and write. I need to.
Yeah.
And then write. And because I never learned how to read and write, it's not, there are people that can say, John went to school. And then you write the entire sentence. And I need to see them one because I can't even read.
Yeah.
You see, the fact that I can't read has also made me feel like, why can other kids do it and I cannot do it? But it happened because I never saw what other kids were learning. I learned with my ears and never saw the details at all, like any other child would. So fine, that was in my high school. And the situation became so, and the more this thing, remember, as much as I'm telling the story and people are saying, oh, shame, shame, behind that shame, there was a coming out.
Oh, no, absolutely. How not?
Exactly, just coming out of me, but it's hidden. It was like, okay, I would teach them a lesson. I'm in school, my brother is in school, and we attend the same school. It's a public school, no more private school. And in that public school, kids are curious. So they would ask, is that your sister? Is that your sister? And because of the stigma, again, he would say no, right? Then I think some people would say, but why are you denying your sister? Don't treat her like that. Because I remember one time, the bus would pick us up from the corner, school bus. So when the bus is coming, he would run ahead of me. And when he runs ahead of me, another guy who attended school with us was like a gangster. For some reason, gangsters were my friends. They protected me. So crazy, but yeah, they did. Must say that. Those bad boys at school, the ones that steal, the ones that are bullies, but they had my back.
Yeah. That
gangster would come running and say, hey, grab my hand, so let's go, run with me. And when he gets to the bus, he'll be like, hey, I'm fit. Then I could write. He would like, what you're doing to your sister is not okay. Like literally. And I wouldn't know why, but later I understood. It was like, don't be ashamed of her.
Yeah.
So fine. About school, my brother is very intelligent. He really gets like good grades, and I never passed a grade in my life. First of all, I cannot read the question before I can even answer it.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So I was tired of being told. I was the girl that the teachers would say, get up, and I would get up, and they would say, do you see this one? She's a condone. She's a push. Basically, I've been pushed from all my grades. That means I fail it. We can't repeat it twice. You push. Yeah. I never genuinely passed it. I was pushed, and pushed. So I figured, I'm tired, I'm stupid, and I don't want to be stupid, and when I try to attempt to kill myself, I end up in hospital. And then when I do that, I was locked up in Baragwana mental institution. They said I'm a danger to myself and the community. So they locked me up. And they didn't just lock me up, basically they sedated me. I was like a wild animal. And I thought to myself, okay, I tried to kill myself so that people can be happy, but it seems that it's not happening. So now I'm going to hurt them. I'm going to destroy them. I hated other people. I hated them, the fact that they didn't have my color. I hated them, the fact that I couldn't read. As long as you were human, I didn't want you. But I wouldn't show it. I would be so, like the torment would be internal. So now, at school and at home, I got compared. One thing I always tell parents, no matter how the situation is, never say my son is better than my daughter. This one gets better, this one fails. You see, I failed everything to a point where my mom felt, you know what, I'm giving you money for what? You just keep going there for what? You know, there was a point I would hitchhike home. And you know, when you hitchhike knowing you can see that in that car there's only one driver. Yeah. I wouldn't see anything. I would just hitchhike. By the time the car stops and I'm in the middle of 4 people, that's when I see, I'm like, oh. But it's too late. I'm already in the car. Yeah. You know? So fine. Then I told myself that I didn't want to fail. I didn't want to be seen as nothing. So I now started strategizing how I was going to pass, how I was going to make it, how I was also going to be awarded and acknowledged. The first thing I did, I would steal people's books. There's B's book. It's covered in pink. Your name is on it. I'll take that book, come home, remove that pink cover, put another cover, take a sticker, put it there, and that became my work. That's how now I started surviving. That is the marks that the teacher would take as my marks, and they would write them as for my portfolio. A portfolio file has got projects that you've done. On top of that, writing on top there has your name. I would take a scissors, cut another white piece of paper, the same as the paper that is in there. I would take glue and I would paste it over that person's name. Then I would write my name, making sure that somehow I try to make it look like that handwriting. That became my work. Nobody picked it up, nobody knew it. Okay. Then there were times when it was examination times. The least teacher could do was to print out an extra paper for me. But it was too much to ask. I mean, I'm the only one. Why are they wasting time? We had to share textbooks. One textbook, 4 of you. The teacher would say, read. Others can just look at the textbook from here and they read. I can't see that textbook. So every time I was in that space, all I could do is in conflict. I hear stupid, you're what? I want to leave. Like I could have so much internal conversation with myself more than I was present in the room, you know? Okay. So this one time, my maths teacher comes in and says, we are writing an exam. And then she starts writing on the board. Everybody just takes out their paper and then they're like this and it's quiet. And that atmosphere just breaks me because now I can't see what she's writing. I can't ask anybody. It's an exam. She already knows I can't see. Why can't she give me that question paper where she's got the questions on? So now, as they're all writing, I start saying, okay, no, relax. Don't worry. Because now I'm talking to myself. Because I'm sitting like this with my paper. It's empty. I haven't written anything except my name. Okay, don't worry. When she's done, she'll give you that paper. She knows you can't see. She knows you can't see. She'll give it to you. She'll give it to you. And then as she writes, and then she asks, have you guys written this side of the board? Everybody will be like, yes, ma'am. And then she would rub. That also starts, oh my God, they're rubbing. I haven't, but we're just like, oh, calm down. She's going to give it. She knows you can't see. So that's now happening in my head. And then she finishes writing everything. And then starts to walk around to invigilate the classroom. And as she comes towards my shoulder, and I'm thinking she's going to see that I didn't write anything on my paper. So she's going to remember that she has to give me that. No, she comes, she looks, and she just goes and sits down. And that anger just now comes like a volcano. You're ugly, you're stupid, you're never going to make it. Go home and kill yourself. Go home and kill yourself. You're going to fail. You're going to fail. No, you're not going to fail. 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 What are you going to do? Okay, let's think. What's that? What am I going to do? As everybody's writing, I'm thinking what to do. And I look at the people that are getting finished. The students are getting finished and they're putting their papers down. As the papers are put down, I'm thinking, okay, what do I do? Ma'am, the teacher's like, now time is going. I have to go. So I think, okay, let me take my paper the way it is, because she has to notice that I put it. I take my paper and I lift other papers and I shove it underneath. As I shove it underneath, she gets her papers and she leaves the classroom, and I follow her behind, and I'm like, okay. I have to see where she's put these papers. I have to see them because I have to pass. My brain is just saying, you have to pass. And then she gets into her office and then she plays it. And I'm like, ma'am, hi, ma'am. Ma'am, I wanted to ask about the portfolio. I create a story. And then she answers me. While she's answering me, all I can see is that she put those papers next to blue. There's something blue next to papers. Okay, that's where they are. And in the next period, while other kids are learning, I'm just focused on those papers. Those papers, I have to get those papers. After school, when the school is out, I would go to the back of the school and wait there until the buses are clear. And when the buses are clear, I would go through these fences. Kids break fences and come into the schoolyard before they lock the doors. I would go back in the teacher's office and I'd find all those papers left there. I would take every one of them, not take one, I take the whole bunch, and I go to the back of the school where there's no one, and I would look for Juliet, which is J. Juliet was the smartest girl in the classroom. She would get like the highest. I would look for her paper and I would just make a photocopy. Like literally, I would copy everything she wrote. Not some things or every single thing she wrote. And when I was done, that anger, that spirit, that breakingness, that result of all this impact of throwing stones at me, now I was now picking them and throwing them back. Now I was like, oh, actually, I'm not going to take back all these papers. Anyone that laughed at me, I would teach them a lesson. I would destroy their work. I would tear their papers. And I would tear them, not like, I would be like, I would do it with pleasure. And then when the results come out, the teacher will be like, Regina got Kafula. So Kafula is my Zambian name, right? Regina Mary is my grandmother's name. So Kafula is Zambian. Kafula in Zulu means spit. In Bemba, it means a warrior, a strong, a bearer of many good things. So when I was in school, and then when I started school, they started using Kafula. So whenever they said Kafula, the whole class would go, pooh! So this guy came to me and said, do you know that your name means spit? And I'm like, no. It's like, no, it does. So remove the U. And then they said, now I removed the U out of my name. Then it was Kafla. But that's not even my name. You see? So that's how that name came about. But now I embrace it. Yeah. So the teacher will be like, Kafla got 90. Juliet got 90. How? Hey, what's going on? How's that possible? And then Juliet checked. She came because I sit in the front. She's in the back. So when she heard I got 90 and she got 90, she came to check my paper. And when she checked, I guess in her head, it it matched, but how could she make sense of how it matched?
Yeah.
And then she just says, well done. And I was like, thank you. And then there was fights now with those kids who were like, ma'am, my paper. No, you didn't write. Hey, but ma'am, I wrote. I was in the classroom. No, I was marking. Well, these are the papers I marked. Yours was not there. Ah, ma'am, but ma'am. And I would be like, I would feel so good. I'll be like, yeah, you know. And that's what was created out of the foundation that I started.
Yeah.
And as time went on, sometimes I'd steal money so that I can pay a student to write for me. There are times when I would fake my voice the whole day. Because Monday was double period of English and double period of Zulu. So reading was compulsory. So I couldn't. The humiliation was like, I'd rather die than for me to go through this every day. Or I'd go in the toilet and spend time in the toilet until the entire period was gone. That's how I started now maneuvering and trying to function. And it happened that because my brother was so intelligent, when he left school with the peers that he left with, one of them or some of them came back as a teacher to the school. And he was assigned to teach our class English. So because he knows my brother, for some reason he assumed that I am also intelligent. So he just comes into the class, he's like, we're going to read Okonko. And he just took out the book and says, read. I can't listen. The worst part is somebody can start reading and make a mess along the way. I could not even start.
Yeah.
What does the class do? Because also when he came in with this confidence.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give this book to somebody who can read. I mean, I speak, accurately sometimes. Like my tone and how I speak makes people think, oh my God, I don't know where she went, Harvard, something like that. So he just came and said, I'm going to choose somebody in this class who can read. Then as we are thinking he's going to choose Juliet, their book just went, Pah! And when it happens, it's like I shift, man. Something, I don't know, it's like I see a ghost or something. It's like, I don't know. It's like, a trauma. I don't know. It's like something evil has come because I'm like, what's going to happen? And then when I tried, I couldn't. And then I'm in grade 10. I couldn't read a book. You could have asked and said, why are you in grade 10 and you can't read? No. He just grabbed the book and said, who can actually read?
Yeah.
And then the person who could read. And that broke me to say, I've been like a mockery. First of all, it's my skin. Then I cannot read. Then I just couldn't deal with life. I just hated myself so badly. Okay, now we get to matric. I'm not going to pass. I know that. But I can also not break into the...
Yeah. What do you do now? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was the worst. And that was the time when I didn't want to face the situation. So I attempted another suicide. I ended up in hospital, but still I came back to the school after 2 weeks of being under drips at Barra. And I knew I was going to fail because I know that. Sometimes I would pay the money to a student. She would write, and then give me the paper.
Yeah.
Or sometimes teachers would come and say, I have the memorandum, I've got the question paper. This is what you must read through. I would have to go steal it. Then I would write the answers on a paper and I would shove it underneath my top. And during writing, I'll take it out. Now, the worst part is that it's not like I even knew because first of all, I cannot even read the questions.
Yeah.
So I would just write.
Yeah.
Sometimes I would take an empty page, but no teacher came back to question it. It's like they didn't care. And I left high school, I felt my name didn't appear in the newspaper, which broke me because now it's like I could easily fake reports, fake things, but I could not get that part done.
Yeah.
And now it's out of high school. I'm not going to college. I'm not doing anything. And you're in a situation where, there are certain households you can't just eat and sit. You have to contribute. You're no longer a student. You must get out there. So now what was I going to do? I cannot read. I have this skin color. I'm nothing. I've already cancelled myself because I know I'm nothing. I'm worthless. I'm just some person who people can sleep with. You know, the only thing I had was my body, you know. So, and now I'm exposed to makeup. So now I start painting makeup on weaves. Like people with albinism, our necks look like we're aging, but we're not. We come like this. We're very special.
I love it.
You see, so it would be like I would do long hairs, do fringes, Lady Gaga, just so I could hide. You know, put your lashes, put your nails. I look like a white pearl.
Yeah.
And then I was like, my brother was like, yeah, when you look like this, you can come with me. Because now people are just like, yo, umlungu, white girl. They couldn't even tell the difference.
Yeah.
You know, now I was accepted. Now I was, you know, on the street dating Tom, Dick, and Harry, you know, and then I started stealing because, I mean, how am I going to survive? And all I could hear is that go back and rewrite. Go back and upgrade. And when I hear that, I would be so mad because how am I going to do it? The fact that I couldn't read the first time was I cannot read and write. And at this point of my entire life, nobody even knows. This is something I'm hiding from everybody, including people in the house.
Yeah.
You know? And some people just say she can't see. But I could see. I just couldn't read the word. And I'm not dyslexic. I don't see Y and think it's M. I see it as it is. So now I started meeting Tom, Dick, and Harry. I have no self-love. That's what happens when you go through multiple rapes and you're broken and there's nobody to empower you. You just think now you are nothing. Your body becomes you become emotionally dead. You understand? So having different men sleep with you and dump you and leave you with 200 rand, it's like, it's okay.
Yeah.
It haunts you because you know it's not what you want. My dream was to be an actress. That's what I wanted. But how? An actress who cannot read, you know? Okay, so fine. I come out of high school and now I'm living this life. I'm drinking, I'm smoking. And I'm not drinking like, oh, you know, we can have a toast to wine. I was drinking like Black Label, Russian vodka. And I was trying to get attention where when I get into a pub, I'm like, yeah. You know, you know, I was the girl, go on the pole and drop it, you know, and people would like, you know, think it's cool, but I obviously attracted the wrong attention. You know, people would be shocked. Such a pretty girl like you, what are you doing? So don't tell me nothing. Because I was trying to hide.
Anger,
You know, I was trying to say, this is what I want to be. I don't want this life, but I'm not like my brother. I'm not like my cousins. And my cousins, I came from a family where they were so academically intelligent. You know, after high school, they went to Cape Town, University of Cape Town. Others went where? Others went where? Me. I was the only one who didn't go anywhere. So it really, really, it killed me. It killed me while I was still alive. And the thing, nobody even knew what I was going through, you know. So that was the life I lived. And I didn't hang out with those people because I wanted to. It's because those people never asked me, what do you do for a living? We get there, we drink, that's all you do. If I hang out with somebody like you at that time, you're like, so what do you do? What are your interests? You know, what do you understand? And that would anger me. Now it's not. Now it's a great conversation to have. But then, because it would just remind me of what I'm not. And I didn't want to talk about it. It was like them unmasking something I'm trying to hide. You see? So that was how that was. So I would go and, like, you know, Hillbrow, Berea, those are very dangerous places. Johannesburg is dangerous, but I would walk the streets. I would be in a taxi going home. It's 8:00 p.m. Some guy would say, oh, don't go home, come with me. And I would just go. I would just go. Something in my head would say, are you crazy? Look around where you are. You don't even know where you are and you can't see. What are you doing here? But I said, I'm useless.
What's the difference?
I'm pathetic. I have nothing. I'm nobody. It was like I was just waiting for death to come my way, you know? And that was how a lot of things happen. I stole in churches because people talk about God, but I would hear people tell me about God who are in a suit. People are perfect. So while we go to church, you know, when they're preaching in the church and they're saying, David, I don't know who David is. I never read anything. Sorry. I never read anything. So I don't know who David is. So while they're busy praising and worship, I'll be looking at where can I do that, you know? And the other thing that broke me even worse is that when you are a female and you come home with plastic bags and you don't work, the first thing your parents should ask is, wait, you don't work. Where is this coming from? Who's doing your hair?
Yeah.
Not, oh, you look nice. Oh, like, you know, that makes you even worse. And then you drink more and you do this and it looks like ashes just like that. People never, my family members detached from me. They called me this girl who's just troublesome, attention seeker, because that's what I showed them. When they watch this and understand now, then they join the dots. Then they're like, we didn't know. Oh my God, I'm sorry. We had no idea. But before they were just like, ah, she's rude, she's stubborn, she's this, she was a. Anyway, so now I am in this life where everything is just rough, you know. Then I went to a party. I'm in Enedal, but before I moved here, I was staying somewhere else. Oh, sis. So before we moved to Enedal, we stayed in Elandsfontein. And then in Elandsfontein, like I said, people believe that we can cure HIV and AIDS. This is not something I'm giving out because it's information I gathered. 5 guys broke into a house, 2012. Excuse me. 2012, and I was raped on gunpoint because this man believed that if he rapes me, he was going to cure the virus in his body. But unfortunately, he did not cure it. He infected me with it. So I'm HIV positive and I'm living a positive life because this is a host. What matters is my spirit. What matters is the life I live here and how great I live it. You know, I take my ARVs every day and I'm so proud of it because end of the day, I still stand tall. I still walk around. I still get around. And I get to prove to the world that it is not true. We don't cure anything.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna die spoken and come and say that I got buried. No, that's not what happened. Not today. Yeah, sorry.
That's okay.
So now we moved to Enedale, and then like I said, my brother would only hang out with me if I have to. You see, this is the new me. No makeup, natural hair. This is me driving my own car. You see, before anything that
You'll
would
have
just...
to show me a before and after picture.
I will.
Yeah,
I will. Absolutely, I will. You'll be so shocked. So I went to this party and we were partying as usual, drinking, getting drunk, being pathetic. And what hurt the most is that you can go to a party with somebody. Monday morning, they're going to work or to school. Where do I go?
Yeah.
I sit and figure out which house, you leave this guy's house, you go to that guy's house. They just pass you on.
Yeah.
And you get home with what, 200 rand? Then what? And because you feel so dirty, you still go buy alcohol to
wash your mind, yeah.
You see? And I would ask myself, but why? And I had friends who only liked the fact that when I get into a room, I'm feisty, I cause attention. But Monday morning, they had places. This is the first time I have a place I can say, this is my place. It's not my house, but at least it's mine.
Yeah, it's home. Yeah.
I would have friends who are independent like that. You know, when I get to their house, they borrow me their clothes. I didn't even have clothes. I couldn't afford anything. I store everything on my body. I come to your house, I have to go with the jean because I need to wear that jean. Who's going to buy me clothes? I failed. I can't go to school. I can't do anything. I'm basically pathetic, you know. So I would really, really just be consistently miserable. I don't even know how to define that misery.
What was the turning point?
Great one. So the turning point was now we are in Enedale. Before we moved to Enedale, we went to this party with my brother and we're drinking as usual. And then there was this pregnant woman. She was drinking with me, smoking with me. And she asked me a question. She said, Regina, what are your goals and what are your dreams? Then I said to her, I want to be an actress, but it will never happen. And then she said to me, it's going to happen. Everything you want will come to pass. God loves you. And that felt gibberish, just felt stupid. Like, please, what nonsense is that? She says, God loves you. I've had people say, God will punish you. You're a demon. God doesn't like this. But this woman said, God loves you. She says, get to know him. That's what she said. So I was really upset. I was like, maybe she's drunk. Maybe it's the alcohol we're drinking. Plus, how can she be pregnant and tell me about God and she's drinking?
Yeah.
It didn't add up. So I got home and it bothered me. So I was so mad. And then I took the Bible. And, with technology now, they can enlarge things, but Bibles are usually made in the smallest print.
Yep.
So I took the Bible, I flipped it. Oh, I had like fire coming out of me, like anger, bitterness. What? I was like, first of all, people say I was made by God. I hate you, you son of a what? I insulted all the insults on earth. Then I tore this Bible. I shredded. I said, how the hell do you think I'm going to know you when I cannot read? I am ugly. You gave me the skin. Everything is wrong with me. But I shouted, how am I going to know you when I cannot read and write? 2 days later, my cousin says, Regina, I was spring cleaning. I found this CD. I don't want it. Maybe you can have it. And this CD was an audio Bible.
Oh, wow.
You can say that again. This is why I say the God I talk about is from this experience. Because I asked, how am I going to know you? I cannot read this book. And I got an audio. I was able to hear. I was able to play that audio and start listening. So I started listening to this Bible and I was orchestrating it. Oh, so you made the world, so what? And I told myself, I'm going to listen to this Bible to speak against God. That was my intention. So I started listening. I'm like, oh, so what? How dare you? Who do you think you are? You're so bullying and all that stuff. Then, as the stories went on, I couldn't really find any relation to them. In case I poked even more. Then I got to the story of Moses, okay? Moses' story started that when he was born, 2,000 kids were being killed. And then his mother threw him onto the water. So he was actually preserved. And then when the story went on, he was raised as an Egyptian when it was actually Egyptians killing the Israelites. As the story went on, he left the palace for whatever reason. I didn't really catch up. My attention went when he was in the bush and God approached him and said, Moses, I am the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and I want to send you to Pharaoh to tell Pharaoh, let my people go. He says, I've heard their cries, and I want you to tell them that I've heard, I'm going to tell Pharaoh to let them go. Moses didn't say, oh God, you're sending me on your max, get set. Sorry.
No, that's okay.
Let's go. No, he says, who are you? And do you know that I'm nothing? You know, I'm a stammerer. I'm a nobody. I have no identity. You're sending me to Pharaoh. We're like, what? He says, yes, I'm God and I'm choosing you. And I can make it happen. He was like, no, you cannot. Like, he was able to respond in a way where he could identify who he was, who he intentionally knows himself to be, and not what people see on the outside. So I could relate to that. You know, when he says, I'm slow of speech, use my brother, not me. I could say, yeah, God. And I never thought you can actually talk back to God. I thought it was jump how high.
Yeah.
But Moses was like, if they ask me who you are, who should I say you are? He says, tell them I am that I am. But it was not enough. He was like, Then God had to prove himself to a man. He says, what are you holding? He says, a stick, put it down. It turned into a snake. He jumped. Put your hand in your pocket. Like, he literally had to show that I am able to do this. He told him, go. And he gave him instructions of what he would do. So I was like, let me follow this story and see where it goes. Is this God really, is it the real deal? So I followed the story. God told Moses, I would make Pharaoh's heart this, and I'll do this, and I'll do this, and this. And it happened. But God did not tell Moses some of the things that were coming ahead of him.
Yeah.
So he freed the people, right? Sometimes people, when you do things for them, they love you for that moment.
Yeah.
And you think it's nice, but it's just the facade. It's not important. So Moses freed them. They're like, oh, we worship your God. We love your God. Oh, thank you. This God of yours, we're going to worship him. As they were leaving, they came across the Red Sea. That means there was no pathway to go.
Yeah.
They were stuck Immediately they changed. We'll kill you, Moses. You and your God. You took us. Like, they changed on him. Pharaoh was coming with an army behind them. The Red Sea was in front of them. Moses didn't just say, oh, God will provide. No, he became human. And he was also like, God, you lied. What happened? You told me to bring people here. And then now we can't go. There's water. And then God says in Exodus 14:14, Moses, be still. I will fight for you. These Egyptians you see now, you will see no more. And it doesn't make sense. How can you not see them? They're coming and they're angry and they're going to kill us. And he said, take your stick and strike the water. And when he did, the water parted. And they went through, you know. So that was my turning point. Because I was like, oh, okay. You can do stuff. Like, okay. Like, oh. So I was like, all right. But God, me, I drink. I hate myself. He made me like this. And automatically he knows my thoughts because he can, whatever I speak into that, he knows it, you know. So then I got to hear from this book, because now I'm listening to this audio. It says, my child, you don't know me, but I know everything about you. I know when you rise up. I know when you sit down. I'm familiar with all your ways. Your hair that you don't like, that you cover so much. Every strand of it is numbered. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. I created you in my image. You are not a mistake. No, but no. My plans for you are like sand on the sea. Think about that. Nothing is impossible with me. I love you. I love you. And I'm like, so then I can't read, I can't write, I'm no one, I'm this. It's like, no, I can make everything possible. And as you read, and you probably, someone is listening, like, did you hear him talk? As you read this message, I'm listening to this audio, these things are coming to me, you know. Then I ask myself, but how is it going to happen? You know, how am I just going to change? Then you get to scriptures that say you must be slow to anger, slow to speak. And if you do something to a person, say sorry. I never knew how to say sorry. I caused conflict so that people can detach from me, so that they can never get to know anything about me, you know. And then as we were going, it happened that after learning that Bible, because now I'm like, wow, it means what is written, they could also be sound. So I can also become part of society. Then I started realizing, okay, how do I now start to teach myself? Then I asked my brother, because when I'm watching a movie, there people would be talking and then white lines would appear. Then I would say, what are those white lines appearing? He says, whatever they are speaking, they're writing. And I was like, okay. So now I started watching movies. I would hear everything. And if I wanted to know a spelling or to speak to somebody, I would go play the movie, fast forward to that part, see how they spelled it. Then I did that. Then I started now using packages. If I wanted spelling for sugar, I'll go in the kitchen and take the whole thing and I would get it. If I wanted a spelling for anything, I would find where the packaging is. Then I started using music videos and lyrics. I would listen to the song and I would download the song that's got the lines that are coming. And that's how now I started feeling alive, started getting into myself. And as I was doing this, I was also now starting to how do I say, change the character that I was having inside me, you know. Because before those 5 guys broke into our house, my last option was nothing will ever come out of me. And I'm never going to be able to sustain myself. So the only thing I can be is a prostitute. So I was prepared to go and find a brothel and hand myself over. So I said to God, why did you let those men come and do that? Then it's like, in your internal, it's like you're talking back to yourself, but it's not you. It's almost like him answering. It's like, but you were willing to go and be a prostitute. You cannot handle that. That man did that to you and he was alone. But what about the place where you go and all those people did that to you? Do you understand? And I thought about it, you know. Then I said to myself, I don't know where to start. I don't know how I'm going to start, but I know what I want to be. I want to be an actress. I want to be on the TV. So whoever this girl is, I am going to create her. I will become her. I won't walk into the room because I walked into the room like this. No, I'm now walking like this. Good morning, Barman. How are you? And let's talk. You see, I said, I'm going to introduce myself to the world. And that's when my journey began. Everything was no longer a hindrance. I remember the proof that God is a true reality in my life. 3 things happened. 1, the audio Bible itself coming to me. That was, for me, it gave me life, because I never thought I would be part of this world not knowing how to read. But if books could be made to sound and I could hear, and I've got good hearing, I knew that was him answering me. So nothing is impossible. Number 2, I never apologized before in my life. And I hated my brother because after school, he went to university, started working. He was the breadwinner of the house. I was the girl that, I'm just trouble. Yeah. You understand? Even my mom would tell you, yes, now we have a good relationship. She's like, this is my child. Before, she would say, if the police knocked here, I would think they want my child first. My daughter, not my son. You know, that's how bad it was. So I would always bang doors, anything to keep people away from me. So this one time my brother comes home, and he comes with his girlfriend, and there's a suitcase. And my mom was leaving for Zambia. And then she says, let's have a meeting. Is there any concerns before I leave? I'm like, what's concerns? What's the meeting for? Why did my brother come with somebody with a suitcase? You didn't even ask us. What is she coming to do here? He's like, no, this is my girlfriend. She'll be here while your mom is gone. It's like, then what's the point of this meeting? I don't care. And I'm drinking Black Label, eh? Champion beer for champion men. Like cases. I don't care. Bang the door. I left. Then I went to my aunt who was selling the beer, and I said, this is what happened. And then she said to me, but Mary, I'm a bit confused. You have been listening to the Bible, and when you listen to something, you come and share with me. Doesn't the Bible say that when you are wrong, you must apologize? I thought about it, and something was like, me, say sorry. I was like, Something said, no, just try it, because you're now following God's direction. So I gathered myself, I dusted myself off with that pride that I had. Then I went to the house, and then I knocked on the door. I said, knock, knock. And then my brother said, come in. And I said, can I talk to you? And then he came outside, and then I said, I am sorry for the way I behaved. I shouldn't have said that. I was just jealous that you're going to give your girlfriend more attention than me. My brother hugged me, okay? He first hugged me, and he said, wait, I'm coming. He went into the room, and guess what? He came back with a brand new BlackBerry. And he said, I bought this for you. I was like, what? BlackBerry? And they were just new, And I was like, oh, so when you do good, you get good. And I figured, so had I not apologized, I wouldn't have received that BlackBerry, So that was another second thing that I knew this God actually answers, and he was teaching me that it is possible, So this is another testament to show that my God works. The rest is, it's him showing off that he can do everything. So there was pressure in the house. You guys have finished school, you need to go work. Your cousins are going for interviews, you go as well. And I'm still, still hiding my truth, but I have to do it because you have to do it. So I go for the interview, and I speak well. So just by the interview, I'm selected. But then they have to write stuff. They do like a workshop, and they're writing stuff, and I cannot see, so I'm just like a monument. But in my head, I go back to, no, this will never happen for me. I don't know what I was wasting my time. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, and then they say, you guys can start on Monday, but you need to come with your matric certificate.
No. Yeah.
Oh, God, you're a liar. Nothing's going to happen to me. I'm what. Blah, blah, blah. I'm saying all those things, but I'm like, okay, when I go there, I must lie. I'll tell them that my matric certificate is in Mpumalanga, and it's not here. And I go there, and I wanted to go and lie. Actually, I did lie. I said to them, I cannot give you my certificate because it's in Mpumalanga. I'm like, no, but you have to ask them to send you a copy. You can request it. You can what, They give you that funny English. As I'm in there trying to cook up more lies, my cousin says to me, Mary, when I finished, somebody's been trying to call my number. They want to talk to you. Can you quickly just check your phone? I check my phone. I get a voice note. Hi, Regina. My name is Athamulepo. I'm a producer and director, and I want to see you urgently. I don't know this person. I've no thing. But when I left high school, there was at the Market Lab. It was called the Market Lab, Market Theatre in Newtown. There's an audition to go and audition, and when you audition, you become part of the school. I went there and I did Cadillac Records. I heard church bells ring. I basically did my greatness.
Yeah.
And they loved me. And then they said, Regina, we love the acting. You're amazing. But to finish this off, please, can you read? And they gave me something to read, and that thing came. I just froze. And they never took me. And when they told me I didn't make it, I attempted suicide again. So 4 years later, this man is calling me. My name is Arthur Malepo. I'm a producer. I've seen your video. I need to see you. It's urgent. I don't know anything. So I send a call back. He calls me back. Where are you? Just tell me where you are. I will be there now. He comes. I'm downstairs. He says, Regina, I wrote a play 30 years ago, and I've been looking for an actress. I went to the Market Lab because it's like a theater school, and I particularly did explain the kind of actress I'm looking for. They said, we know a girl. She came here 4 years ago to audition, but they never took her. But we've got her details. It took them 2 days to look for my details. He says, I saw the audition footage, and I know what you can do. I want you to work with me. I've written a play, and I need you to be in that play. If you reject me, I'll be heartbroken. And I was so shocked. And this man trained me theater, how you walk on stage, how you get off. And that was the beginning of my life. So I said with Mama, I want the black that you are. I played a theater. I was in a performance. From there, I did a one-woman show. Everything I've told you, and now you watch it, me performing it live for you to watch. From there, I used my confidence, my strength, my God as my pillar of strength. There was an opportunity at the Market Lab, Johannesburg Theatres. I auditioned there, and I was selected amongst 14 students. And when I was selected, the requirement was matric, but because my audition was so good, they chose me. And they chose me knowing that they're in partnership with Wits University. So out of 14 students, they chose 3 best students to go to Wits. I was one of them.
Wow.
I would be in that classroom saying, they're going to, but I was in that classroom.
Felt like the imposter.
You understand? From there, I auditioned for lead actress. Mzansi Magic, I played lead actress to 2 short films there. I started speaking to kids because now I realized that this is something I went through, other kids go through. One of the women in my community that used to drink with me, she was older than me, and instead of empowering me, she would break me by saying, just drink, just smoke. One day she took out her nephew's book out of the dustbin. Says, look at this child, he can't read, he's stupid. When she spoke like that, I felt her like she was talking to me. She didn't even know that was what I'm going through, but she spoke like that about him. So I said, I cleaned my garage in our community, and I started calling all the kids there. And I said, Dynamite, Dynamic Explosion, a children's program where I would teach them the way I told them the truth. I cannot read, so we're going to use my laptop. If you can't read, you're going to see the way I am learning, and you're going to learn. And I started empowering them. You must be strong. You must be bold. It's not how your story starts, but it's how it ends.
Yeah. I am... I mean,
if you don't stop me, I will go on.
I could literally listen to you all day. You are so inspiring. But I wanted to take an opportunity to show people, for someone who can't read, wow.
Thank you.
Wow. I mean, I'm just blown away. I don't even know. I'm emotional. Wow. Regina, you know, all I can say is if there's anybody out there, directors, agencies, this girl is something else. I am so, you know, I know that your story is going to resonate with so many people, whether they have been through gender-based violence, whether they've been bullied,
Yeah.
whether they're experiencing albinism, anything.
Yes.
Your story hits on so many different levels because all of us at some point in our life have felt that we're not enough
Yes.
in any way, shape, or form. And the fact that you have been able to navigate through that, and you have two beautiful children, you are an amazing mother, woman, and you're proud of your history
Yes.
because it's brought you to where you are now. And it's something I always say, you cannot appreciate the good until you've experienced the bad.
Yes.
You cannot appreciate what someone else is going through until you have felt failure. And I think these rich kids that grow up in silver spoons, they're missing the vital thing of the failure that makes you experience the good, like appreciate the good. You know, if you only ever have good, how do you appreciate that? I am so inspired by you. I am so proud that you have a house now, and you are truly an actor. Like your story, the way you tell your story, like I've never sat so still for an entire podcast. I was absorbed. I'm gonna do everything in my power to make sure that you get a platform and you get a name, and you are so inspiring. I am so impressed by you, and I'm so sorry that so many things had to happen for you to be here.
Thank you.
I look back at my life and I think, God damn it, why did that one? It makes sense, but it doesn't take away the trauma of it.
Yes.
And I'm now, when you sit here and you're like, I'm beautiful and I'm perfect, I'm like, yeah, you are. You deserve every second of that. Guys, honestly, what an impressive podcast with Regina. I am so impressed. I hope you were glued to the screen like I was. And we're gonna have to have Regina on because there's obviously so much more to hear.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing your
Thank you
story.
for having me.
Does it ever get easier?
Well, because oh gosh, I don't want to say part two, but then it's just that now when I go through challenges, I know how to know that there will be an ending. I can overcome them. I know I went through the first strength, I could get out of the second one.
Yeah, I say that too. Whenever anything bad happens to me, I always say there is a reason it's happening. You might only figure it out in 2, 3, 4 years, or maybe it's 2, 3, 4 days.
Yes.
You're going to be fine.
Yes, but if you've crossed the first bridge and you know you went out of it, the second one will be the same, and you gotta get to the last.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I saw someone the other day and they said it's not how many times you get pushed down, it's how many times you get back up. So if you get pushed down 7 and you get back 8, that's all that matters.
Yes.
So
thank you for having me. It's an honor. Like this is also part of why I say I'm not asking anyone to go to church or tell anyone to be Christian. I'm just saying give this God a chance. Give Jesus a chance because he does change things around. Both my daughters are HIV negative. What's that for? An amazing experience.
Yeah.
If I had to go through this to teach others that we are not a cure, now they know. But I don't have to be like, no, mom, my child is sick now. No. And even though that's the case, take your medication. As long as you get up and you're fine, you are fine. There's no stigma.
Well, I'm going to go buy a lottery ticket. And if I don't win, then you're obviously not lucky either. And they might as well not take your body parts or spits.
Yes.
I mean, like literally, you're human. And
Yes.
it's so crazy that these things are,
I know.
Yeah, it's amazing what us humans do. What a horrible race we are. But then we're also super, super inspiring.
And what makes me, like what I used to question the most, I'm sorry in case our 10 minutes is up, is that the world talks about apartheid and how people were, oppressed. But you come back and do the same thing to me.
Yeah.
Huh?
I think that was the part that I kept saying. These are her own people.
Do you understand? And I'm thinking, like, you don't treat a person like an animal and then be shocked at the beast that they become. And it's not condoning that that's supposed to happen, but why would you say this was wrong and you come back and do somebody else? We are born from you. We are coming from your creation as African people, and you still chop me up. And it's worse because it's more severe in the African department than any other race.
Yeah.
You understand?
Well, you know, this is a perfect idea of you. Black and white. At the end of the day, we're all
Human.
human. You know, some
Red
people
blood.
get awarded more melatonin than other people. Like, we're just
Absolutely.
all human. Where did this bull crap race start? Anyway, we could talk forever. Thank you so much for joining us on this
Thank you.
episode. More to come with Regina. We will definitely have her on as another guest and try and get her story out there. But honestly, she needs to do an acting job. I'm sorry, this girl is incredible. Thank you so much for joining us. Check us out on the next episode. And thank you once again for joining us. So inspiring. Thank you, Regina.
Thank you for having me. I'm honored.
Have a great day, guys. Bye.
Bye-bye.